What if a nation rooted in centuries-old traditions began transforming in ways no one could have imagined? Picture this: churches filled with worshipers, while mosques see a decline in attendance. This is precisely what's unfolding in the Islamic Republic of Iran, a dramatic shift in mindset that has left many asking, what's happening? Over 1 million Muslims in Iran have made the unexpected decision to convert to Christianity. Could this surge in Christianity signal a turning point for radical Islam? Let's delve into this profound transformation. When people think of Iran, Christianity is rarely the first religion that comes to mind. As the world's largest Shiite Muslim state, Iran is deeply rooted in Islamic traditions and strict religious enforcement. However, beneath the surface, a quiet yet profound shift is taking place. A surge in conversions from Islam to Christianity. This movement is not only reshaping Iran's religious landscape, but also challenging the very foundations of its theocratic regime. Iran's Islamic Republic, built on Shiite Islam principles, has tightly controlled religious expression for decades, often punishing dissenters harshly. The notorious morality police, tasked with enforcing Islamic laws, recently faced international scrutiny for their alleged involvement in violent incidents, including the shooting of a woman for not adhering to mandatory hijab laws. These actions highlight the oppressive measures used to maintain conformity, yet signs of dissatisfaction abound. Reports suggest that 5,000 of Iran's 7,500 mosques have closed due to declining attendance. Senior Iranian cleric Mohammed Abul Qasim attributes this trend to waning patronage, signaling a broader crisis of faith. Simultaneously, it's estimated that over 1 million Iranians have embraced Christianity, reflecting an undercurrent of religious change gaining momentum. This movement, often referred to as the Jesus Revolution, is not just a statistical anomaly. It signifies a cultural and spiritual shift. According to a study by CBN and the Tide Ministry, many Iranians are drawn to Christianity because of its message of hope, love, and forgiveness, offering a stark contrast to the authoritarian and punitive Islamic regime. Todd Nettleton, a voice of the martyrs, notes that systemic challenges like rampant drug addiction, widespread corruption, and pervasive poverty have tarnished the appeal of Islam as practiced in Iran. Over half of Iran's population lives in poverty, while the economy struggles under international sanctions, corruption, and mismanagement. These hardships have led many to question the Islamic theocracy's promises, creating fertile ground for alternative spiritual paths. A survey by the Netherlands-based Gaman Institute reveals that 80% of Iranians desire a democratic government, rejecting the Islamic Republic in its current form. In this context, Christianity has become more than a religion. It's a beacon of spiritual and social liberation. The promise of democracy, human rights, and equality, often associated with Christian-majority nations, resonates with those yearning for change. Despite the risks, underground churches and digital platforms have become lifelines for Christian worship and education. Converts cite Christianity's emphasis on compassion and forgiveness as key reasons for their shift. For many, the idea of a personal relationship with God brings hope and agency absent in their previous religious experiences. In a world burdened by systemic injustice, the teachings of Jesus stand out as a message of hope and compassion. Verses like Matthew 11:28-30. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Offer comfort and liberation to those seeking solace amid hardship. For countless Iranians, these words provide exactly what they've been searching for: a sense of freedom and peace in a system that seems to have failed them. In a nation where oppression and adversity have become a way of life, this religious transformation signifies more than just a shift in faith. It's a testament to the human spirit's resilience and quest for hope. Christianity is becoming more than just a religion in Iran. It's a symbol of personal freedom and a way to resist a regime that has deeply intertwined religion and politics. For those suffocated by the empty promises of the Islamic theocracy, turning to Jesus feels like a breath of fresh air. This shift isn't solely about spiritual belief, it's a profoundly personal act of rebellion. Iran's government has built its authority on strict interpretations of Islam, making conversions to Christianity a direct challenge to that foundation. Choosing Christianity in Iran is more than a matter of faith. It's a powerful statement that says, "I reject the system that has failed me." The Iranian people have endured widespread poverty, government corruption, and one of the highest rates of drug addiction in the world. These harsh realities have eroded their trust in a regime that once promised justice and dignity through Islam. In contrast, Christianity offers something radically different: a message of love, forgiveness, and hope. It feels like an antidote to the harshness of daily life. The idea of a personal relationship with God, one based on compassion rather than control, has drawn thousands to a faith that feels more accessible and deeply human. Unsurprisingly, this growing movement hasn't escaped the government's notice. The regime sees the rise of Christianity as a grave threat, not only to its religious authority, but to its entire political structure. In response, it has cracked down hard. Underground churches are raided, Christian converts are arrested, and public expressions of faith are closely monitored. These actions reveal the regime's fear. If people find hope and meaning outside of state-sanctioned Islam, the government's control begins to crumble. Despite the risks, the movement continues to grow. Many converts turn to digital platforms and secret gatherings to practice their faith and support one another. It's a quiet yet determined revolution, one that persists even in the face of severe opposition. And the harder the government tries to suppress it, the more resilient the movement becomes. Across Iran, a new chapter is unfolding, one marked by a powerful yearning for freedom, hope, and transformation. Jesus transcends borders, speaking directly to the hearts of people across the globe. This movement is not confined to a single country or community. It stands as a testament to the universal power of God's love. It offers hope and renewal to those who have endured oppression, injustice, and despair for far too long. For many in the Middle East, the realization of God's unconditional love is nothing short of revolutionary. It replaces the fear of divine punishment with the assurance of grace and forgiveness, introducing a God who is approachable, compassionate, and deeply invested in their well-being. This shift is more than a personal spiritual awakening. It is beginning to reshape the social and cultural fabric of the region. The Middle East, often perceived as resistant to change, is undergoing a quiet yet profound transformation. As individuals accept the gift of salvation through Jesus, the region's spiritual landscape is evolving. This transformation is fueled by a message of freedom, truth, and light, reaching into places long overshadowed by darkness. Despite significant opposition, the love and truth of God continue to penetrate these regions. Hearts are softening, and hope is taking root where despair once reigned. It's a movement that speaks to the resilience of faith and the enduring promise of renewal, showing that even in the most challenging circumstances, God's love knows no bounds.